Franny K. Stein, Mad Scientist, Book 7, The Frandidate Chapter 6. Everybody's running for the office. Franny stood up in front of the class. As you know, I'm running for the office of president, and now I'd like to present part 2 of my campaign, she announced. She pulled the tarp off the big hulking clown thing that Igor was holding on a leash. Elect me, and this can be yours. It was mostly a clown, but parts of its face looked like a kitten. It had soccer balls for eyes, and cake was leaking out of its ears. Behold your future, Franny yelled triumphantly, although nobody could hear her over the sound of the children's shrieks and the wet, choking hacks of the clown thing coughing up a puppy. Franny's classmates ran for the office to get the principal. Igor led the horrible creation out of the classroom, pausing only for a moment to eat some ear cake. Sorry, Miss Shelley, Franny said, but I combined everything they like. I don't understand. Maybe you should try to think of the class as they see themselves, as individual people, and not just a group, said Miss Shelley. You have to know where each voter stands on the issues. Franny wiped some goo off the coughed-up puppy. So you're saying I have to be the exact candidate that every single one of them wants me to be? I don't think that's possible. Maybe not, Franny, but if you're going to get elected, it will be because each person sees you as the best person for him or her. Chapter 7. The Little So-and-So. Franny walked into her lab. Igor took one look at her and brought her Snooky Fangs, her stuffed bat. Franny smiled a bit. Igor always knew what she wanted even before she asked. Dogs are like that, she thought. She sat down on her chair, but jumped right back up with a squeal when she realized she sat on her chameleon. I didn't even see him there. Amazing how he can change to look like whatever he needs to, she said to herself. She sat back down to cuddle up Snooky Fangs and have a think. Her parrot interrupted the quiet with a perfect imitation of Franny's squeal. Franny didn't like to be mocked, but it was hard not to admire how quickly this bird could make any sort of sound it wanted. Quite a talent, Franny said. Suddenly, Franny sprang to her feet, sending Snooky Fangs flying. That's it, she howled, and Igor ran for cover. A howling mad scientist can be a very bad thing. Sensing what people want, looking any way you need to, sounding like whatever you want to. The answers are here. They're all right here in the lab. Franny started activating various machines, her fantastic mad scientist brain racing ahead to the next step, and the one after that. Igor, fetch me my sewing machine. Chapter 8. Making a Strange Bedfellow. Franny took DNA samples from Igor, the parrot, and the chameleon, and she tossed them into her new improved atomic combiner. These animals had the special abilities to sense feelings, mimic, and change appearance, and Franny wanted those abilities. Her creation would have to be convincing. So she threw in a little sample from the cobra for its ability to hypnotize its prey, and a specimen from a spider for its ability to lure things into its web. She gave her creation nerves of steel, so it wouldn't get nervous when it spoke in front of people. She added a handful of spicy peppers to give her creation a fire in its belly. A fire in the belly means that it will really want to win, she explained to Igor. Franny added a dash of python and a scrap of carpet. The python should give it a strong grasp of the issues, she said with a grin, and the carpet will make it an expert on where people stand. Franny threw a few switches, and the electricity began to crackle. She pushed a big lever, and the iron rollers turned, uncoiling a strange, floppy piece of fabric onto the floor. It looked like a big gray bedsheet, but it was warm and soft, like skin. When Franny touched it, it wiggled and twitched. I think it liked to be tickled, Franny said, and she dragged the bedsheet over to her sewing machine. Igor held a pincushion for Franny and watched her cut and sew for hours. With each stitch, it looked like Franny might be assembling one of her typical monsters, except that this thing had no guts, no spine, and only a very tiny brain. Finally, it was complete. Igor, wait until you get a load of this, she said, and then Igor got a load of it. It wasn't really a monster. It was sort of a costume, or maybe it was more like a skin or a hide. Franny began stepping into it. As she stepped into it, she seemed a bit taller right away, and her arms seemed longer. She pulled up the hood and stood in front of Igor, modeling her strange baggy suit. What do you think? She said, her voice muffled inside the skin. Before Igor could respond, the skin began to change shape. Sensing that Igor found it scary and disgusting, the skin quickly took on the appearance of Miss Wizzy-Wazzle, the host of Igor's favorite TV show. Igor didn't know what to think. Part of him knew this was Franny, but part of him wanted to believe that Miss Wizzy-Wazzle had come to the house to visit. It works! Franny shouted, although the voice came out sounding just like Miss Wizzy-Wazzle's. It can sense exactly what somebody is thinking and feeling, and it becomes whatever they want it to be. It's the perfect candidate. I created the Frandidate.